everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you're new here, welcome. Happy to have you. My name is Achilleona, and today I'm going to be talking about this South African man saying how so-called Black Americans aren't African in look. When I told y'all on my community tab, I don't care if natives say that we are indigenous, I mean that. And that goes for Africans as well. But however, when I do see these videos, I want to share them with you guys because, first and foremost, a lot of people think that when we say we are indigenous and that there are people other than us in different ethnic groups agree, people like to say that we're lying, right? Well, of course, there are videos like this South African man saying that we're not African exist, okay? So I don't want to miss the opportunity to share this with you guys, but I also want to remind my viewers that everything is not the end all be all when they admit to things like this. Now, yeah, it's cool when natives come out and say, oh yeah, well, we've been working with so-called Black people before Christopher Columbus and the colonizers came to these continents and blah blah blah. Like, okay, cool. Like, it's cool that you notice that now, but I need change. I don't need y'all to sit here and say, oh well, we've been knowing about each other, or oh, y'all the real indigenous people, or oh, y'all not from Africa, but y'all are Black indigenous people. Like, okay, yeah, we get it, but where is the changed behavior? Now, I have told y'all guys on my community tab post that, it's cool that natives want to talk more about us being indigenous and being here before the Europeans came to these continents, but they're not showing any changed behavior when it comes to anti-originee behavior. Now, I talked a little bit about stereotyping when it comes to what an American Indian look like. So when I came across this comment underneath the post, this woman says, I agree with you on the fact that the stereotyping needs to stop. However, I don't know what the natives owe us. Please explain. Now, I don't know if this woman is new to my YouTube channel or new to American Indian history in general, but this is why I have my YouTube channel. This is why I do the content I do. And honestly, reading this comment really does frustrate me because I know that not everyone has came in contact with my channel or know what I know, but it frustrates me that there are people genuinely asking this question because they have not been properly taught history. Not to mention how mixed or Eurasian natives are still disenrolling and expelling you melanated or quote unquote Black indigenous American tribal members out the tribe. This is very anti-origine, and not only that, but this is the basis of what I'm talking about when natives owe us. They are constantly trying to find ways to keep us out the loop, and they always try to sit there and say, oh well, y'all are Black, y'all not Indian, or y'all mixed, y'all not Indian, like they didn't come from the nutsack or the womb of a pale European person. Obviously, not all melanated or quote unquote Black Americans are old tribal enrollment. But however, when they have the information, the sources to prove it, they are old tribal enrollment. Now, because of the transatlantic slave trade story, a lot of people think that you melanated Americans are part African, or freedmen's are former African slaves for an indigenous American tribe. And that's not always the case, and that's not always true. A lot of freedmen, many freedmen, are indigenous, but because they didn't have the papers to prove it, whether due to slavery or colorism or whatever, it can't be proved. But it doesn't mean that they're not indigenous themselves. It just means that they don't have an ID or a piece of paper to prove it. Now, when it comes to what natives owe us a lot, and they have gotten away with a lot. And when it comes to the anti-origine behavior, it does seem like they do get a pass. And I'm very tired of it. I'm tired of people giving them passes. And also, what is sickening is when I see Pan Africanists working with other natives to bring down other melanated indigenous people. And honestly, a lot of these Pan Africanists be letting these natives call us to N word and just be very anti melanated indigenous people, like just very anti. And they get away with it. And not only that, but when you watch this video, you will notice that this African man is trying to shade quote unquote Black Americans by saying that they aren't African. Now, of course, people like me, we already know that we're not African. So it's like, yeah, cool, I know. But how he says it and the tone he says it, it's like, oh, child, like they think they're African, like bless their heart. That's the Southern American Indian interpretation I got from that video. And if you are a Southern Indian, you probably will most likely get the same interpretation of that video I'm about to show you, just like I did, okay? But it's crazy how people think that when they one up us in this way and they say things in this way that they are getting underneath you melanated American people's skin. Now, in this case, this may upset a lot of people by the way he says it and what he says, but at the end of the day, he's not really lying. He's not lying. Now, of course, I would say genealogy is by a case basis. You have to do your genealogy to know that if you are Indigenous American, African, mixed with Indigenous, whatever, you have to do your own genealogy research to know who you are. And also, I do help people with their genealogy research. So definitely check me out on Patreon and we can have a one-on-one discussion on how you can get farther on your genealogy research. And I also hold 30-minute sessions via phone call or video call, which one is easier, on how I can help you with your genealogy research if needed. Click my Patreon link in the description box below to get started. Now, a lot of people don't know that Indigenous Americans went to Africa, they settled in Africa, they brought civilization and cultivation to Africa. A lot of people don't know that Africans and American Indians were trading. A lot of people are not aware of this information. And the source for this information, which I will always recommend to you guys, is Katanga A. Bongo, Civilization in the Ancient Egyptians book. You can get it on Amazon. Please check it out. It has so much information, y'all guys. And I'll be seeing some of y'all saying, "Oh my God, Yona, I just don't get you. One minute you're saying you're Indigenous, and now you're talking about the connection we have with Africans." Because let me make one thing straight. I would never deny that we knew about Africans and Africans knew about us, because obviously there is evidence about that. And not only that, but our ancestors traveled all across this world, and even the Mayans were going over and sharing their information with the Egyptians. That's documented, and you can even see that in the pyramids as well. So yeah, that's no lie, that's no joke. And I want more people to understand and realize that brown Indigenous people with all hair textures existed all over this quote unquote world, or what I like to say, dimension. So that's where I'm at with it. Now, if you get confused, I don't know how to help you on that. I share my sources. I'm not stingy with my sources. Maybe doing research on your own time will help you understand more about this topic. But yeah, if you are interested in this topic, do more research about it. Do more research, because our connection with other civilizations across the world is very apparent. And I feel like a lot of people overlook those connections either because of how we look or because they don't want to be tied to us. But either way it go, history is history, and people are just gonna have to get over it. But anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all this video, and I'm not going to come back with further commentary because I had said everything I needed to say. Don't forget to like this video, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Hit the all notifications bell button to get notified when I go live and when I upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, and until the next time, bye!
South African says Black Americans are truly not African.
You're not African, you're a Black American. You're American. Before anything else, you are just a Black American who is not African American. It's really nice that you think that you are, but that's cute. You're not African, you're a Black American. You're American. Before anything else, you are just a Black American who is not African American. It's really nice that you think that you are, but that's cute.